Today in studio, we have members of one of the top girls lacrosse teams in the area, and we send out Jack Cap to learn a new sport. All that and more next on SFBN Talks High School Sports. Talk about that game and that team in particular.
And let's talk about some of the players. Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Welcome to another edition of SFBN Talks High School Sports. I'm your host, Ari Bluestein, and Emily. We're in the full swing here in spring, and you had a chance to take a look at a lot of the softball teams in this area. Let's start in Suburban 1. Now, the National Division, a very strong division. What team stands out to you so far?
So the team that stands out here is definitely Neshaminy. You know, this is a team that's always been very good. They entered this season a little concerned with their pitching. A lot of their starters, actually all of their starters had graduated. You know, they weren't concerned at all with their offense. They have some great hitters, Sam Offenbach and Sarah Snyder-Linhauser. So hitting, running, not a problem. They were really concerned with their pitching. But luckily, they've had three younger girls step up. Junior Kaylin Seeley, freshman Amber Rugger, and freshman Sarah DeWallow have all been a huge contributing factor to this team's success in the beginning of the season. Sarah especially has stepped up. She's been pitching very well. She's been pitching actually since she was 9 years old, so she's mastered about every pitch there is. She's got a fastball, a curveball, a screwball that pretty much confuses any batter that steps up to the plate. So I think any of their worries about their pitching is completely diminished now, and I think that they will be good for years to come.
It's very impressive for a freshman to have that array of pitches, and Neshaminy, usually a very strong program, so good to see the Redskins back on track. Now in the Continental, another very strong division. What team stands out to you so far in 2015?
So Stouterton definitely stands out to me here. They have another young starting pitcher who's been playing so well, freshman and left-hander Alex Sheeler. Now Sheeler's accuracy is pretty much unmatched. She even had a no-hitter against CB West not too long ago, so she's been pitching so well. And the only thing this team could work on is their hitting. Even their head coach mentioned she'd love to see them have some big hits early on in the inning. So even though you have to take the runs any way they come, that would be her ideal situation. They haven't really been doing that. But it does seem that their pitching and their hitting have an effect on each other. So when Sheeler has a really good game pitching, their team hits better. So I'm not sure if she really boosts the rest of the team confidence or what it is, but I think with her starting pitching, they're going to be very well.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and we'll see how that plays out over in Stouterton. Now, when you think of Suburban 1 softball, you think about the National and Continental, two of the stronger divisions. But don't sleep on the American. Usually some pretty good teams in that division as well. Who stands out to you in that division?
So in this division, Cheltenham sticks out to me. This is a very senior-heavy team, which is, I think, one of the reasons they're going to be very tough to beat, because they do have, you know, that veteran leadership, that skill. They've been playing together for a while now. So they've even had two girls actually commit to play at the collegiate level, which they were just honored for. But I think because they have that veteran team, they're going to be tough to beat. And they're very good. I mean, their defense, they have a lot of depth there. Their offense is also very good. So I think they'll be good this season, and they have been playing very well so far.
Well, there's always a lot of tough teams to beat in Suburban 1. Same goes for the Philadelphia Catholic League. Up and down the league, very talented, very competitive softball teams. And one team that I think of is Conwell Egan. They always have a very strong program, and especially because they have they're a smaller school, that stands out to me. How are the Eagles this year?
They're playing very well this season. You know, last year they had a 16-win season. They did so well last year. I'm not sure they can match that just because that year was so good, but they have been playing very well. And, you know, they did lose their catcher, Regina Milburn, which was a tough hit, but they still have their shortstop, Ellie Murray. She returns at that position, and she is also way up there in their batting order. She's one of their best hitters in the team. And I think they'll be good this year. I'm not sure they can match last season, but I think they'll be very good.
Well, another team in the PCL that had a very good season last year was Lansdale Catholic. And, you know, the Crusaders, they lost a lot of players to graduation, but they seem to be doing just fine here in 2015.
They are, and, you know, in my opinion, of the Catholic League, Lansdale Catholic has one of the most exciting players to watch. Their pitcher, Ashley Steele, you know, last year she led the team through the postseason to the state semifinals. So she is a great pitcher. She's had an off season. It was her junior year last year. She's entering her senior year. She's had a year to get better and improve, and I think she really has. So I think the only thing, I think that this team could be very good this season if they continue. Like you said, they lost some veterans, which is a tough blow, but they have been playing very well, and I think with her starting pitcher, they could be, go just as far this year.
Well, we can't talk about the Philadelphia Catholic League without mentioning the Ragdolls of Archbishop Bryan, the Northeast Philly school. They always put out a good product on the softball field. How are they doing so far in 2015?
They're playing very well as expected. You know, they beat Lansdale Catholic last year in the championship game. But they're the favorite entering the season. So they have their pitcher returning, Carrie Dodalski. She is their starting pitcher. It's their senior year. I think, you know, they have a shot to win the Catholic League again. They're playing so well, so I think they definitely have a shot there.
Well, a lot of very good teams in the PCO, and another one of those teams is Bonner-Prendie. And when we return, we will focus on the Pandas next on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
For over 30 years, the Runaround has serviced southeastern Pennsylvania as the premier team outfitter in the region. Located in Abington, the Runaround serves as a one-stop shop for many of the area's top high school and collegiate athletic programs, as well as numerous travel teams, youth organizations, and corporations. With its top-quality screen printing and embroidery coupled with the best prices in the region, the Runaround is your answer to any team apparel needs.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
The Ambler Sports Academy is owned and operated by professional teachers and coaches. We specialize in individual, group, and team training. Book your next baseball or softball birthday party with us or call to learn more about how we can improve your organization by providing coaching clinics, tryout evaluations, and on-the-field training. The Ambler Sports Academy will be offering summer camps at the following locations. Be sure to visit our website today for details. We look forward to helping your players reach their maximum potential.
Welcome back to SFBN Talks. You would think throwing underhand wouldn't be a challenging skill to learn, but in fact the mechanics of the windmill motion used in softball is pretty tough. So we wanted to see if our own Jack Cap could pick it up out at Bonner-Prendie in Drexel Hill.
Another rainy day at Bonner-Prendie gas.
Now, a little bit later on, you're going to teach me how to windmill, correct?
Yes.
Which I've never done, but I'm looking forward to it. Because it's not an easy thing to do, at least from a man's point of view. I've watched you girls, it's really difficult. What type of pitches have you been able to throw?
I have a fastball, a two-seam fastball, changeup, drop curve, screwball, backdoor screw, and a rise ball.
It's quite a repertoire. All your fingers, yes. Okay.
And then you're supposed to keep your mind at the same speed, like, and then you release it. That's the next
So you do like, this part is the same, but at the last second it's kind of slowing down.
You have to throw it instead of like this.
You throw it like that? I can't. That's a tough. But I mean, as far as the softball is concerned, I mean, is there more of a pressure situation? It's obviously higher competition.
Yeah, there's a lot more intensity, and you feel like everyone wants to play. So it's a lot more fun to play with everyone wanting to play the game.
Pretty much the same as a fastball.
So it's like a four-seamer type of thing?
Yeah.
So what are you doing at the last second then?
I just kind
Do it in slow-mo.
and then I come over.
It could end up over there. Is that all right? Now, what are your prospects this year? What does it look like for your team this year?
This year we're definitely young and stuff. We have a lot of freshmen and sophomores, but I think we're strong.
See, like the horseshoe?
Okay, the horseshoe. Okay.
You're gonna put your 3 fingers
Like
there
that, right?
and have your pinky behind it.
So once again, the pinky gets some attention.
Yeah, then you like release it. You're gonna
So you're going to release it like that?
Like you're gonna spin it off your pinky, so you're gonna come up.
So I can't do it. You know what? That pitch comes with sound effects.
I just make a sig.
You make a sig. So you're coming across.
Just give the ball like this.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to listen to
And then
her,
you
but
can spread your fingers.
okay. But of course, when I do it, I'm going to mess it up anyway. I don't want to scare you now. Fastball. Change up.
Drop.
Screw. How far do you think you might go?
I think the Catholic League's kind of a wild card, so I think anything could happen.
But it's very competitive. Every
Yes.
game is very competitive.
Let me pitch. Sound effects.
tough. So,
The Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is heading to TCN with a brand new talk show. Tune in every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN for SFBN Talks High School Sports.
I got the personal attention I needed, I had a lot of options when I graduated, and as far as I'm concerned, this is my dream job.
Ryder prepared me for my NBA career, and I also got the education that I need for life after basketball.
I had 6 teaching internships while I was at Ryder, and right after graduation, I started a career that I love.
The Writers' Corner is brought to you by El Dion Pagilari State Farm Insurance Agency. For all your insurance and financial needs, please contact El Dion and his friendly team at 215-485-5556 or visit their website, epinsured.com.
Welcome back. It's now time for the Writers' Corner. And Ace, I'm sure you've seen a good amount of baseball around the city. Let's start in the public league. And there really aren't two teams that are separating themselves from the pack. You know, Washington and Franklintown, they played for the championship last year, but there are some other teams in the mix. Talk about the public league landscape right now.
Yeah, I think one of the teams I really like is Central. A team last year that got disappointed in the playoffs, didn't go all the way. I think they really thought that that was going to be their year. I think this year could be their year. A lot of experience coming back. Danny Holzman, sophomore pitcher, already 4 wins for them this season. And I think, you know, when you couple some of that disappointment from last year, that becomes motivation for this year. And I look for them to make some noise. And also be on the lookout for Olney and Prep Charter, 2 teams that were really inexperienced and some errors kind of foiled them last year. If they can clean those things up, look for them to make some noise.
Yeah, I think Frankfurt has also improved. That they are normally the team that we talk about when we talk about the Public League Championship. They had a down year last year, but the Pioneers, they are back. Now, in the Catholic League, I think it's the opposite of the Pub, where you have 2 teams that are kind of separating themselves just a little bit with Archbishop Wood and Newman Goretti. Now, a few weeks ago, Wood beat Newman Goretti in the regular season. Now, let me ask you, in a playoff setting, in the PCL playoffs, can Wood beat Newman Goretti again?
I think they can. You look at Joey Lancelotti, he was able to no-hit Newman Goretti, 14 strikeouts in that game, no-hitter. It's amazing that he was able to do that. But I think a blow for Wood is going to be that Anthony Russo, who was a standout quarterback for Wood's football team, he decided to step away from baseball and focus on football. A big-time right-hand arm for them, and I think that's going to hurt them. But if they can overcome some of that, Nick Lafferty behind the plate, he's a really good catcher, really good hitter too, kind of like the heart and soul of that team a little bit. I look for him to step up. I look for Wood to definitely be competitive with Newman Goretti come playoff time.
Yeah, now Newman Goretti, they've got some very good players as well. Beto definitely stands out to me, and pitcher Pat Dudigan. Talk about the Saints a little bit and their chances to repeat as Catholic League champions.
Yeah, the Saints are interesting because they lost a lot from last year. Josh Ockamy, who's now in the Boston Red Sox organization, he was a big-time bat for them last year. And they also lost Charlie Jurla, who kind of did a little bit of everything for them. But as you said, Beto has really stepped up. He's really surprised me. He emerged as a pitcher this year, you know, and he's a guy that was a leadoff hitter, is still a leadoff hitter, but a lot of speed out in right field with a big-time arm out in right field too. But has really come on as a pitcher, so that's interesting. And Pat Dudigan is the big-time lefty, so you know what you're going to get from him. So Newman Goretti is definitely dangerous.
Now, taking a look at the rest of the Catholic League, you have some other very good teams in there. St. Joe Prep, Roman, you can't forget about LaSalle, who won the state championship last year, Archbishop Carroll. Out of all those teams, maybe a team I didn't mention, who has impressed you the most that could maybe make a run at the PCL title other than Wood and Newman?
I like St. Joe's Prep. We talked a little bit about pitching with Wood, but pitching for them, Colin Scalen's a big-time lefty, a big 6'5" lefty pitcher for them. And if you can have good pitching that can carry you, that can do wonders for you in the playoffs. And so I look for the Prep to make some noise.
Now, in the Interac League, if you had told me that Springside Chestnut Hill would be in first place 4-0, undefeated at this point in the year heading into this week, I would have been surprised. Are you surprised?
I am and I'm not, only because last year you could see they had some talent. They were really inexperienced teams, freshmen and sophomores in there contributing big time for them. But this year they've seemed to mature almost overnight. And AJ LaBella from them, really big time at the plate, 3 for 4 in a big win against Penn Charter last week. And so I am surprised, but I'm not. They have talent, and we're seeing that come to fruition this season.
Yeah, one of the teams you just mentioned, Penn Charter and Malvern as well, they tied for the Interact League crown last year. Haverford School, you think about them too, Germantown Academy as well, another good team. Out of the rest of those teams, who have impressed you the most other than Springside Chestnut Hill?
I really like Malvern. Some of that, we talked about the championship that they shared, and some of that experience I think we've already seen this season. Last week they fall behind Haverford School 4-0, and it looks, Haverford's got control of the game, and all of a sudden here comes Malvern. And I think Chance DeFebo and Chris Butera are big time for that team. And I think Malvern, they're a very, very dangerous baseball team.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of baseball left to be played coming up in the month of May, so I guess we'll see what happens. Ace Carter, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And when we come back, we'll stay in studio with some more guests next on SFBN Talks High School Sports.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome back. We are now joined by members of the Agnes Irwin girls lacrosse team, Coach Jenny Duckenfield, Laura Pansini, Sarah Platt, and Kate White. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you. So Coach, I'm going to start with you. You took the Owls from a 2-18 record in 2012 to a 22-2 record in 2014, and now in 2015 into a nationally ranked team. You guys are in the top 20. So tell me how you transformed this program.
Well, it's about getting the girls to believe in themselves and changing the culture, and raising the level of their play by building the intensive practices and competitive practices, and also by having a great coaching staff.
Well, it sounds like you really have to have a passion for the sport. And Kate, let me ask you, what attracted you to the sport of girls lacrosse, particularly when you were younger?
So when I first started playing in 3rd grade, I was immediately attracted to the speed of the game, and I always loved having a stick in my hands, so that was always a big part of the game for me. And so after I started playing in 3rd grade, I went to a lot of Ducks leagues in 5th grade and started going to her clinics immediately after that because I realized how great of a coach she was. And I was really excited when I found out she was going to be my coach for high school. And it really has been a great 3 years, and I'm looking forward to another one. And it's just been such a great journey with all of those lacrosse memories.
And all 3 of you have verbally committed to universities, which is great. Kate, Dartmouth, Sarah, you're going to Vanderbilt, and Laura, you've agreed to play at Princeton. So talk to me a little bit about that process and how you decided on Princeton as a junior.
Yes, Princeton was always my dream school. So I went to their camp 2 summers ago, and on the last day, Coach Saylor gave me her cell phone number, and I was so excited for that to happen because I knew that she wanted to continue the process with me. And then it all fell into place from there, and it was an easy decision because I just knew.
This is amazing to me that you guys are all juniors. You're all verbally committed to big-time programs, great schools. Coach, what is the recruiting process like for girls lacrosse at this level?
Well, lacrosse is the fastest growing sport in the country. So college coaches are looking at our girls usually around freshman year. So we have to get them prepared mentally and physically with their stick skills and speed and conditioning and strength training. So the coaches see them and they can identify the stronger players.
That's great. And speaking of coaches seeing players, Sarah, you went through the process. You are now on the U19 national team. You're playing in Scotland this summer. Congratulations on that. Tell us about what that process was like and what it will be like to be playing overseas this summer.
It was a long, hard process. It's been going on for over a year now. It started with 800 players, and now 18 of us are headed over to Scotland. There was a lot of off-season training, a lot of stick skills, a lot of conditioning to get me prepared for that. And I cannot wait to go to Scotland and bring back a gold medal.
That's awesome. Now, Coach, after this weekend, your team is 13-1. So how do you think they've played so far this season, and where do you see the rest of the season going?
Well, I'm very proud of my girls. The core of our team are all underclassmen. They're all juniors. So we're still in a growth mindset, and we take every game seriously. and we are really looking forward to finishing strong, winning the Interact and going to the state.
That's great.
Well, Coach Duck, good luck to you the rest of the way. Thank you for joining us. Kate, Sarah, Laura, thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For everything SFBN, check out our website. Well, that about wraps things up for this edition of SFBN Talks High School Sports. And Emily, the great thing about the spring season is there's so many different sports, and we had a chance to talk about a few of them today.
Yeah, there are. You know, I always love baseball and softball, love watching those, but lacrosse has always been one of my favorite sports to play and watch, so I always look forward to that.
And you know, I grew up on baseball, but I love learning about these other sports, especially lacrosse.
Definitely.
For Emily Henning, I'm Bluestein. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Have a good night. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool that you play lacrosse. I played baseball in high school.
Was that like your main sport?
Yeah.
Select video equipment for SFBN Talks has been provided by DMP Video. DMP Video. You provide the moment, we'll capture the memories. For more information about our videography services, please go to our website at www.dmpvid.com.
The High School Scholar Athlete of the Month for April is David Wolfson of Shipley School in Bryn Mawr, PA. David is a three-sport athlete and is a two-year captain for the lacrosse team. The senior defenseman has been a part of 2 Friends League lacrosse championships and was a member of the Under-19 Israel national lacrosse team. In the classroom, David is an honor student and has also won state and international Entrepreneurship Innovation Plan awards.
Thank you for watching this episode of SFBN Talks High School Sports. If you liked what you saw and would like to support SFBN, head over to patreon.com/SFBN to become a patron.
The Sports Fanbase Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is heading to TCN with a brand new talk show. Join us every other Wednesday at 6 o'clock for SFBN Talks High School Sports. We'll have everything from interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, rankings, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN for SFBN Talks High School Sports.